When you're in your 40s, what are the most important financial decisions, financial priorities that you need to have on your radar screen? I've got that and more coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. We're in a little mini series here about the most important financial decisions or financial priorities by decade, okay? And we started in your 20s, 30s, they build on each other, all right? And so here, your 40s, and your 20s and 30s were all about building financial habits. And by the time you get to your 40s, and guys, it's, not everyone is the same, obviously. Everyone's financial situation is unique to them. But you start to see themes, and 40s, you really start seeing some of what's been sown financially. And some of us look and, we all, number one, have financial mistakes. And but some of us, there's, our field that we need to reap, that we've sown it's a lot of weeds, and we've got to clean that up. And so your 40s, it could be a time of cleaning and getting back on the right path. Hopefully, it's a time of, maybe a little bit of cleaning and weeding and all that sort of stuff, but still sowing good seed for your financial future. So what are the most important financial priorities? You build on the most important priorities of the 20s and 30s. Those don't go away, but what do you add on top of it? I would argue, and this is not part of the three, but it's by your 40s, there's a certain level of financial experience and maturity and clarity and focus that a lot of times it's in your 40s. That is when if you don't have that established certified financial planner, that CFP in your life that's doing comprehensive financial planning, by your 40s, you're going to want to figure that out, because come the 50s, you're right on deck to making some of the biggest financial decisions of your life. And in your 60s, that's when you're making those decisions. That's not the time where you want to look around and say, well, who do I trust? Who's taking the right approach, and who knows my situation? That I would establish that in your 40s. Now, at the beginning, when you're first starting your financial journey, getting the right habits and learning from a CFP who's doing comprehensive financial planning, the right habits to have in place, that's crucial. But by your 40s, okay, if you haven't already done that step, gosh, now is the time to do it. All right, in addition to that, what are the big three financial priorities? Number one, in your 40s, you should have a fully functional 3 bank account system. And so geeky, but guys, I've been involved, and vicariously through our team of 80 some financial professionals, we've just seen thousands upon thousands of financial scenarios and situations. And yeah, we've been involved in, really big, exciting things, people retiring and, business sales and starting a business, and people, realizing these big financial dreams. But if you were to ask me, of all the things that I've helped people with or seen in finances, what one piece of advice or one principle or one thing has made the biggest impact in people's financial life? It's a 3 bank account system. I wish it was something really exciting and earth-shattering. No, without a doubt, it's the 3 bank account system. And so the 3 bank account system, we've done lots of videos on that on the channel. So make sure you turn on notifications and you're a subscriber, because you're going to want to capture the entire library and be up to date on all future videos. But it's essentially it's a cash flow management system where you've got one bucket, a checking account that manages all your normal monthly expenses. And you actually have a budget where you track. And I know that can sound super restricting and geeky. It's not that. It's not. It's just categorizing and understanding how much income's coming in and where are all my normal monthly expenses. Do I have the right balance? Am I able to do the things that I want to do? But that's your first bank account, okay? The second bank account is where really the magic happens, and that's your delayed spending. So it's for spending, but not immediate. This is where you organize, where you list out all of your known upcoming expenses, right? Your immediate spending, that checking account, you've got visibility on all your regular expenses. Yep, Netflix and the mortgage and car insurance and all that sort of stuff. But what about all the stuff that's not every month? What if it's every year? What if it's every 3 years? What if it's every quarter? If you're not prepared for those things financially, then you're always scrambling. It always feels like your cash flow, you're taking 1 step forward and 2 back. and you're not really able to get traction because you haven't built out that second bank account structure, which is normally a savings account or money market, where you're tallying up, all right, here are all the expenses that are on the horizon that I can anticipate. Yep, vacations and gifts and anniversary and life insurance payments and other insurance premiums and taxes and also, home repairs, car repairs, new car replacement, all that sort of stuff. You list out and put a dollar sign next to it. You total all that up and you divide it by 52. Or you divide it by 12, or however often you want to be saving and setting money aside so that when those things come up, you've got the cash. And financially, it's not a big distraction. It's not a big to-do, big event. You've got the cash and you're prepared for it. That's that second bank account, delayed spending. And then the third bank account is your emergency fund. So if your first bank account is your immediate spending, everything that's happened routine, okay? And then your delayed spending is looking out as far in your financial future as possible to say, what's ahead? What's coming up? So that you're ready when you get there. The emergency fund, or I call it financial confidence account, is for everything that you can't see that could pop up out of the blue. A change in income, a health change, a big expense. One of the ones that I've lived through and talked about is found out squirrels had, kind of chewed through the shingles in my roof, and I had a bunch of squirrels. We were sitting there in one part of the house. What is that smell? What is that smell? For months, had no idea. Until we saw, squirrels running around the roof. We're like, what is happening here? Well, wasn't planning on replacing the roof at that time and paying the extra expense to remediate and get them out of there and all that sort of stuff. So emergencies happen, squirrels happen, right? So by your 40s, your financial life is in motion and has enough maturity that if you don't have your financial life resting on this chassis of a 3 bank account system, it's going to be painful. It's going to require some adjustment and some work to get it set up. But in your 40s, you've got to have this system set up so that your cash flow is almost boring and takes care of itself so that you can plan appropriately for those long-term goals you're trying to achieve. All right, speaking of, that's the second most important financial priority in your 40s is you want to make sure that you're saving the right amount for retirement. Early on in your 20s, it was make sure you're saving as much as possible. In your 30s, it's make sure those savings are tax beneficial and are appropriate for you. And in your 40s, recalibrating to make sure that you're saving the right amount. Don't be shocked if you find out you actually need to be saving more. Okay, and that's why that 3 bank account system will help you balance and adjust and so on. But the formula, if you want to build wealth as a formula is cash times time times risk. So how much cash can you invest for how long and taking the right level of risk, okay? And so in your 40s, you still have enough time and you're starting to build up more cash and you want to make sure that you've got that equation, all the inputs there in the right ratio. And then the third big priority in your 40s, and this isn't for everyone, right? Everyone's situation is a little bit different, but now is the time. If you have kids, now's the time to be planning for college. And you might say immediately, I'm not helping the kids with college. Okay, get on the same page with your spouse. That's fine. I have no problem and not gonna, if you said, I'm not gonna retire, I'm okay with that too. Have a contingency plan in place in case your health changes and you're no longer able to work. But these are choices that we all make. And so if you've got kiddos, you got to decide in your 40s, well, what's your role going to be for college? Hopefully you decide this in your 30s, but in your 40s, you're in one of two camps. One, you had kids when you were young and you've got some college expenses on the horizon or right now, and you've got to figure out, are you going to slow down what you're doing financially and help the kids with college? So instead of saving up as much for your future or paying down debt or whatever, you're going to have that cash flow go towards college or not, right? So you're either in that stage or in your 40s, your kids are still young enough and they're going to be in college when you're in your 50s, and you've still got time to determine what's our role going to be and how much should we be saving up. So working with the CFP to build out that college plan when you're in your 40s, if not sooner, but certainly in your 40s, if you've got kids, that is a huge financial priority during this decade. Guys, there's a lot more than just those 3. There's 6 areas to everyone's financial life. We didn't come up with this. The Certified Financial Planning Board says yours, mine, Warren Buffett's, everyone's got 6 areas to their financial life. And you want to make sure that your financial decisions are being considerate of all of those areas. Not to be nice, but you're aware of, okay, well, if I do this, how's it going to impact this area and this area and this area? And therefore, when you've got that context, when you've got that visibility, You make one plan. You make one decision that infuses all of the 6 areas. It takes a good decision, turns it into a great decision. That's what you need in your 40s and really every decade. These are some of the 3 biggest priorities that you've got to tackle in your 40s. Work with your CFP on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well. Or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.